Howdy guys, Bookie Laura here. Today I'm going to bring you another tag video. Now absolutely ages ago I was tagged by Amy's vlog about books to do the I am a reader tag. Now it was ages ago, I mean it was literally over a month ago, but I always get around to it eventually. So this is my I am a reader book tag. So question 1, choose one word that describes being a reader. I find this very difficult. I mean, to choose one word that sort of symbolises everything that I get from it. I'm going to just go with, I'm going to go with the cliched escapism. I think that is fundamentally what reading is about. Even if you're not trying to escape from life, it still gives you a sort of, I don't know what the other word would be, for going into a different world, for being completely absorbed in that, in much the same way as when you watch a film or a TV programme. So it's that escapism, it's living in a different world for a bit. Question 2, what's the very first book you fell in love with? It wasn't a specific book as such, but I suppose the Mallory Towers series, which is about a bunch of kids, a bunch of girls who are at a boarding school and their sort of adventures in a very kind of famous five way. And it's the first books that I remember actively buying, and then my mum then taking me to the bookshop so I could buy the next in the series, and going into a bookshop knowing what I wanted. So I think that's the book that I sort of remember from my childhood. Question 3, hardcover or paperback? I'm definitely a paperback kind of girl. For me, books are about reading, not about looking at, and paperbacks are more practical and cheaper and all the rest of it. Question 4, how has reading shaped your identity? I'm not 100% sure that reading has shaped my identity. That seems a sort of very over-the-top way of looking at things, but what I do get from it, and not so much my identity, it really allows me to see things from other people's points of view, which I find quite difficult in real life. I tend to find it very difficult to see other people's point of views and perspectives and how they may be different from me. I find it hard, really hard. I assume that everybody is able to do and see things the way I do and do the things that I do, and they're not. And reading has really helped me with that, in understanding the way different people's brains work, I suppose. Next question, because I have no idea what number I'm on. What book do you read when you need to be comforted? I'm not a particularly a mood reader, I don't think. I don't sort of gauge how I feel and what I want a book to give me. But I suppose if I am in the need for something comforting, I would probably go for some fluffy YA. I think that it's easy reading, and if I want to be comforted, that's probably what I'm looking for in a book, is that I just want it to be easy reading. But I don't think I'd go to middle grade to be comforted. Maybe that's because it feels too young. I don't know. Weird. Next up, who taught you to be a reader? Or did you do it all on your own? I mean, really? I don't know. I guess a whole bunch of teachers taught me to read, but I don't know that anyone made me a reader. I think my family as a whole were readers and are readers, so there was always that element of it, but I think it's something that really I've come to quite late in life, that more obsessive reading. Obsessive is not a kind word, but you know what I mean, that where I'm reading so much rather than, I suppose I used to read sort of 10 to 12 books a year. Since going past that has been quite late in life, and actually I don't know who's responsible for that. I don't know. I don't feel that anyone made me a reader. Lots of people have contributed, but not one significant person. Describe your dream reading lounge. I mean, I'm more about the book than the place, but I suppose if I had to choose absolute perfection, it would be quite simple. I would want all the cliches. So I would want a nice armchair. I like to read on an armchair so I can get right in. A really nice fluffy blanket. I think that's probably it. Perhaps some white noise in the background, and I think that's quite unusual. I struggle with focus a lot, and I'm very easily distracted by noise and things in the background, so I like white noise, something to just allow me to focus. And then finally, what book changed the way you act or see the world? Ooh. Lots of books do this for me in a kind of minor way. In fact, I use it often as a gauge of a good book, if it's made me think differently about how I behave. But I don't know that I can think of one off the top of my head that did that. The Life of Pi was one that kind of did it for me. It sort of really got me to think about people and the way people behave. Change the way you act or see the world. Or recently I read Humans by Matt Haig, which came at a really good time for me, and I'm keen to read sort of more of those style of books at the moment, because I love the way that it just took the sort of all the craziness about humans and all the things that we do and experience and think are important that sounds so obsolete on the face of it, but actually the reality is that these things are amazing, and that book really brought that out in me in a way that I can't describe. So if I had to say one, I would say that. So, as I said, I was tagged by Amy Vlogs Books or something, Amy's Vlog About Books, to do this tag, and she's wonderful, so do go check her out. I'll leave a link below. And I was going to tag the dyslexic reader, and then I realised that Amy had already tagged her, so not doing that this time. I am going to tag Cara from Wild About Books. I think that's the name, because she is amazing and she tags me all the time, so I'm going to tag her back. She's probably done this, but never mind. I'm going to tag Steve Partridge if he hasn't already done it, and I'm going to tag Beautiful Pages because I'm loving her channel at the moment, and I'm trying to just tag different people. But anyone watching this that wants to do it, please do. Please pretend I tagged you. I'd be more than happy to do that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.